of minutes. We have one set of minutes this evening, councilors, and those are from September 18th, 2024. And at this time, I would accept a motion to approve those minutes.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward, and thank you, Councilor Dornbloom. Any questions, discussion, or revisions? Okay, seeing none, if you can call the roll, please.
Councilor Blaisberg?
Aye.
Councilor Lamartina?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbloom?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. And item 5 is the consideration of nominations, appointments, and elections. And this evening there is one, and that is Richard Alperin as a reappointment to the cemetery trustees with a term expiring April 2027. And I would accept a motion at this time to approve that reappointment.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Ward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who's taking this one?
Councilor Lamartina.
Councilor Lamartina, thank you. Okay, any comments or discussion on Mr. Alperin? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Blaisberg?
Aye.
Councilor Lamartina?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbloom?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Excellent. Thank you so much, councilors. And we're moving right along. At this time, I will turn it over to you for the report of the town manager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have an unwritten report this evening due to my travel to the conference last week in Pittsburgh. First, I did email all the councilors a form to fill out for the schedule for work during the general election on November 5th. That one we're going to need as many people as possible. This is going to be an all-hands-on deck. So if you can, please sign up, because we're expecting a large turnout. Next item, just a reminder that the New Hampshire Municipal Association Annual Conference is October 30th and 31st. If you want to register, please let us know and we will register you for that. Or just let us know, we'll pay for it, and mileage is covered as well. Just two grants that we informed of. I'm happy to announce that we heard from the the Federal Department of Justice on the COPS grant, which is a program that we have been awarded $358,000 to upgrade the dispatch software at the PD. We're still waiting to see if we can get money from the congressional delegation to upgrade the equipment as well, but this is the software portion of it. So if you remember, we've been asked for an earmark to do the hardware part. So I'm happy to announce that. We were also notified from the state that we've been approved for funding for the $1.44 million loan with 25% principal forgiveness for the Moody Point Stormwater Improvement Project. We will be bringing this down council as a warrant article asking voters to approve the loan for approximately $1.1 million since 25% is forgiven. We'll have those figures when it's ready. I am asking the council to sign the MS 535, which is the revenue report for the Department of Revenue Administration that's being passed around. I want to congratulate the Arts Commission on the ceremony and the unveiling on Saturday. It was a great community event, and seeing all the people out in the crowd, it was a really good turnout that day, and a great mural and other art projects as well that I don't think a lot of people even knew about some of the other ones. So I think it's just great to have that. The chair and I met with the chair of the school board and the superintendent of schools today to discuss our annual joint meeting. We will be holding it on October 16th at 6 p.m., so right before our next meeting. We're just going to discuss some topics of interest like growth in the community, what our forecasts look like for our budgets, and for large projects that we may be having coming down the pipe in the coming years. Our goal is to just get on the same page, so we're not all going after the same purse at the same time. And finally, I am asking this evening for a brief non-public session after the meeting to discuss a legal issue. It should not take more than 10 to 15 minutes. That's all I think.
Excellent. Any questions or discussions for the town manager? I have two. Could you remind me the dates of that conference?
October 30th and 31st. It's in Manchester.
Manchester. And my other question is, on election day,
Yes.
we know that we need a quorum at the end, to certify. Are there other times where we anticipate that typically we have the greatest need for coverage, so that maybe folks can, take out work
Yeah.
or, do whatever?
Beginning, noon, and end of the day.
Okay.
So it usually starts when the polls open, it'll quiet down probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Pick back up around 11, quiet back down around 2. Start picking up, it depends on, since school's not in session, it may go later, but if school was in session, it'd be like around 3 o'clock when people were going home. But it's 3 o'clock on is, especially, but with the presidential, it's probably gonna be all day.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. All right, any other questions for the town manager? All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports this evening? Councilor Ward.
Yes. The Budget Committee met on the 30th. There was a presentation on the town's fiscal year 24 financial report. So pretty much what we already know, but expenditure percentages was 91%, which is 2% below prior year, but within the norm. Revenues are positive with $39,715,761 accrued in revenue, which is roughly $3 million more than last year. Some trouble trying to hire a part-time firefighter, and yeah, that was about it.
Other committee reports? Councilor Lombardi.
I have a number of statistics here. This is related to community power. So in Newmarket, these are values as of end of September. In Newmarket, we have 5,582 electric accounts. Of those 5,582, 3,910 are utilizing Newmarket community power. That's roughly 70% of the electric accounts in Newmarket are on Newmarket community power. Since March, when we went live, we've had 141 accounts. That's roughly 3.6 that have opted to join community power. 62 accounts have opted to opt out. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, with basically 2 people opting in for everyone that's opting out. I have some initial residential savings information. So this is through the end of July. Keep in mind that we went live in April. April was the first month that we started collecting revenue from Newmarket Community Power. So for those first 4 months, Newmarket residents have saved $14,000 compared to what they would have paid had we stayed with Eversource. But you have to keep in mind that Eversource, the rate difference between Eversource and Newmarket Community Power for that time period was only half of a cent. Okay? Eversource had overcharged customers, and they had to have a 2.5 cent reduction in their fee. Going into the new rate that started August 1st and goes through January, the difference is almost roughly 2 cents. And so we're entering into colder months. We expect that the savings for Newmarket residents will be significantly higher. Next time I get to report that. And one other thing is, as you're aware, we're doing a friendly competition with Dover, Durham, Exeter, Newmarket, and Portsmouth, the Seacoast Challenge. After the first month of the Seacoast Challenge, the intent is to get more people, or a percentage of people, to upgrade to a higher level of clean energy. So after the first month, Newmarket, I'm happy to announce, is in the lead by 1. The next closest is Dover, which added 4 accounts, but that makes 3.9% of their population, and then it's followed by Portsmouth that added 6 accounts, that represents 2.8%. We added 7 accounts, but that 7 accounts are roughly 28% of the people that upgraded. So. And that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Martina. Any other committee reports this evening? Okay. Then we are going to move on to resolutions and ordinances in the second reading. And this evening there is one. That is Resolution 2024-2025-10. That is the Establish the Charter Commission ballot question. And at this time, I would accept a motion to approve that resolution.
I will make the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Ward. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Flaisberg. And Tim, would you like to speak to
Yeah.
us this evening?
As the council is aware, one of the goals that they put forward is to review the town charter. And just for the public, that what the town charter is in the process. The town of Newmarket has been a council manager form of government since 1991. They've had 2 charter commissions since that time and a number of charter amendments during that time. The charter commission is essentially, it's going to be a board of 9 individuals who are elected if this question passes. And their job is to review the town charter to make sure a number of things that, one, we want to make sure that it's still adapting to change, that the form of government we have is currently reflecting what the community needs and what the community is participating in. It helps ensure that the charter reflects realities, including demographic shifts, technological advancements, and changes in state and federal laws, because we don't change the laws in the charter every time that the state laws change as well. It also can improve efficiency and effectiveness in local government. They review and recommend updates to government structures, roles, and responsibilities that can lead to more streamlined operations and better service delivery. It can enhance transparency and accountability in local government. It can propose changes that ensure elected officials are held accountable to their constituents. It involves it's an open public participation. It involves public hearings and consultations with residents, and provides an opportunity for opinions to contribute to the shape of local government. And finally, it's vital. A lot of communities don't review it that often. Some communities actually have it in their charter that automatically every 10 years they have to review it to see how it's going. But it's good to look at it to make sure that the government's responding and working the way we need to be. Government is much like a person. It grows, and it gets older, and it matures, and it changes. The traditional town meeting is the most basic form of government. That's the simple one. But in my report, I said that it was determined that at a certain point in time, you grow too big for that, and you need to go to a representative form of government. And that's where, that's just something the Charter Commission can look at it. If this question is approved, as I said, 9 registered voters are elected at large to serve as a Charter Commission. If again, a special election would have to be ordered by the council within 5 days after the recount, so you may have to have a special meeting. After that, a special election would be held between 35 and 60 days. They would then have 170 days to come up with a preliminary report, and the final. 170 days is the final report. Before that, a preliminary report, which includes proposed charter text and explanatory information, has to be filed with the clerk, the Attorney General for the state, the Secretary of State, and the Department of Revenue Administration to make sure it's legal. And then it goes to the next municipal ballot for any changes.
Thank you, Town Manager. Are there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Councillor Jones.
Thank you. 9 members of the public are to be elected. How's the slate created? How do people?
They file.
You
Last
file.
time, yeah,
Okay.
we announced that.
Now there's a quick turnaround.
There is.
So that period includes the filing to be okay.
Correct. They had but if I remember correctly, we had almost 30 candidates last time.
Mhm.
So it's not every time there's a charter commission in a community, it's not a small number have come out. That's one of those ones that, because they know there's an end to their term,
Mhm.
so they'll come out and run for that. But it's usually a large turnout of candidates. And last time I knew we had a sitting town council ran for it. One former, the sitting police chief at the time ran for it. The current town moderator was the chair of it. And I believe it was I can't remember the other 4, but I believe they're members of the public. One later on became a member of the town council. So it's a good cross-section. And they brought in people from other communities to talk about what their charters do. And I know I went to a number of the meetings as well as consultants from Municipal Resources.
Okay.
Other questions or discussion? I did a, so if this were approved today, can you, I know you kind of did it, but can you walk me through, so it gets approved today, then
So
what happens
your
tomorrow,
resolu-
then what happens, like,
The resolution is approved today,
yep,
goes on the ballot in March.
okay,
The voters then must approve this question, do you want to form a charter commission? If the
okay,
charter commission is approved, within 5 days, the council needs to meet
okay,
and schedule a special election.
okay,
Then the special election is held to elect the commissioners, and then they convene to start meeting. And then with 170 days of that, they have to come up with either a final report with recommendations, they can say everything's fine and nothing comes of it,
okay,
or, yeah.
okay, awesome, thank you, I appreciate that. All right, seeing no other discussion, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Weisberg.
Aye.
Council Lamatina.
Aye.
Council Dornbluth.
Aye.
Council Ward.
Aye.
Council Conley.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Excellent. Okay. Now we have several ordinances in the first reading. Okay. First is Resolution 2024-2025-11. This is a resolution appropriating $12,500 from the Technology Capital Reserve Fund for the replacement of a town server. Whereas the town servers are used extensively for normal operations for a variety of business functions, and whereas the town's current server is at replacement age and is scheduled for replacement as part of planned maintenance, and whereas the Director of Finance and Administration is proposing the council consider replacing the current server with a new server to ensure continuing and consistent operations, and whereas the Technology Capital Reserve Fund has a balance of $73,109.45, now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council does hereby approve the expenditure of not more than $12,500 from the Technology Capital Reserve Fund for the purchase of a new server with supporting software, sponsored by Chair Conley by request, first reading October 2nd, 2024. All right, the next resolutions, Resolution 2024-2025-12, Septic Receiving Station and Final Design and Bidding. Whereas the wastewater department is constructing a new septic receiving statement at the wastewater treatment facility, and whereas Wright Pierce has performed the preliminary engineering and equipment purchase, and whereas Wright Pierce has submitted a contract for $244,565 to perform final design and bidding for the septic receiving station, now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the town authorizes the town manager to enter into an agreement with Wright Pierce to perform the final design and bidding for the septic receiving station project for $244,565. Sponsored by Chair Conley by request, first reading October 2nd, 2024. And moving on, our third resolution, the first reading this evening, is Resolution 2024-2025-13. That is the American Rescue Act Fund Grant Authorization. Whereas the town is eligible to receive a $100,000 American Rescue Plan Act Fund grant for its septic receiving station project, and whereas in order to receive the grants, Town Council must pass a vote to enter into an American Rescue Fund and grant agreement with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services to fund the septic receiving station project. Now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Town Council authorizes the town manager to enter into an American Rescue Plan Act Fund, ARPA, grant agreement with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services and grants authority to the town manager to enter into the ARPA grant agreement and to execute any documents which may be necessary to effectuate the septic receiving station. Sponsored by Chair Conley by request, first reading October 2, 2024.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Request that the council suspend the rules this evening. We received notification from the Department of Revenue and Department of Environmental Services that they have shrunk the timeline that we have to act in it. The governor changed the deadlines for ARPA funds. Problem, basically, we're running out of time for spending all the money, so they're shortening all these in case we say no to it, then the money can go somewhere else. So I'm asking the council to suspend the rules to act on this evening so we can either approve or deny it this evening.
Okay. At this time, I would accept a motion to suspend the rules to act on this resolution this evening.
I will make the motion to suspend the rules.
Thank you, Councillor Ward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Dornbluth. Any discussion about whether or not to suspend the rules at this time? Okay, seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Glazebrook?
Aye.
Councilor Lamatina?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. Then at this time, I would accept a motion to approve Resolution 2024-2025-13, American Rescue Act Fund Grant Authorization. Do I have that motion?
I will make the motion.
Excellent, thank you. Councillor Ward, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Glazebrook.
Glazebrook, sure.
All right, spread it all around this evening.
The Director of Environmental Services is here to discuss.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff.
This is pretty simple. A couple weeks ago, I met with the state, and they offered an additional $100,000 for the septic receiving station. As you may know, that we already have received $500,000 of ARPA funds for this project for it. This is in addition to that. But I got a call last week that says we need it by Friday of this week in order to get the funds. But to get the funds, we need authorization for the town manager to have the authority to sign everything. Even though we've done this before, it's really some crazy rules where you give him authority. We have 30 days to sign all the paperwork and get it in, and then it's all. And then if we get more money, we have to do it all over again. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Okay. So it sounds like what we would be approving this evening is giving the town approval to let somebody else give us money.
It is pretty much yes.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for Director Gray? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this resolution? Questions or comments by councilors? Councilor Ward.
Just that it doesn't make sense to leave $100,000 on the, yeah, so, I mean, approval of this, yeah, 100, with 100, yeah, that makes, yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? I agree. Seems like a slime time. All right, seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Glazebrook?
Aye.
Councilor Lamatina?
Aye.
Councilor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, moving on. Our next resolution in the first reading is Resolution 2024-2025-14, and that is the Bay Road Force Main Preliminary Design. Oh, yay. Okay, whereas the Bay Road Force Main is in poor condition, and whereas the wastewater department has been offered a $100,000 planning grant with 100% loan forgiveness and a $554,000 loan with 20% loan forgiveness for engineering from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services. And whereas the wastewater department has applied for congressional direct spending for up to $2,200,000, and whereas Wright Pierce has submitted a contract for $254,300 to perform preliminary design for the Bay Road Force Main. Now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the town authorizes the town manager to enter into an agreement with Wright Pierce to perform the preliminary design and bidding for the new Bay Road Force Main for $254,300. Sponsored by Chair Conley by request. First reading October 2, 2024. And finally, resolution in the first reading, Resolution 2024-2025-15, Wastewater Collection System Repairs Engineering. Whereas the Sewer Department has performed a wastewater collection system evaluation that has identified necessary repairs, And whereas the sewer department has secured a $1,750,000 loan with up to $612,500 loan forgiveness from the New Hampshire State Revolving Loan Program. And whereas the sewer department has received a contract from Underwood Engineers to prepare the environmental review and rehabilitation bid documents and perform bidding assistance for $55,700, now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council authorizes the town manager to enter into an agreement with Underwood Engineers for $55,700 to prepare the environmental review and rehabilitation bid documents and perform the bidding assistance. First reading, October 2nd, 2024, sponsored by Chair Conley by request. All right, and that is the end of the of resolutions and ordinances in the first reading. We're on to new business and correspondence. Is there any correspondence to be read into the record for the town council?
There is none.
Okay. At this time, are there any closing comments by town councilor? Okay. I did want to just take a moment and reiterate the town manager's appreciation for the work of the Arts, Culture, and Tourism Commission. Really just tremendous job. As I think I stated during the dedication, I think public art and beautifying our public square and our public spaces says a lot about the kind of town we want to be. And so it really is a testament to the work of the commission that they've created a place that is vibrant and welcoming and inclusive. And so I'm very deeply appreciative of that work. The next town council meeting will be on October 16th, 2024. And at this time, per the town manager's request, I will accept a motion to enter into a non-public session under RSA 91A:3, Section 2, subsection L. Consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel, either in writing or orally, to one or more members of the public body, even where legal counsel is not present. Do I have a motion, please, to enter into non-public?
I will make the motion.
Thank you. Councilor Ward, do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Councilor Lamartina. Any discussion from the councilors on whether to enter into non-public at this time? Okay, seeing none, if you can call the roll, please.
Counselor Glazeberg?
Aye.
Counselor Lamartina?
Aye.
Counselor John Blue?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Conley?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, at this time, we will enter into non-public session.
Okay. Yeah.